Welcome back. Let's find out if we've gotten anything wrong so far. For that, we go to Jesse Joyce.
What's up, Greg? How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, too. I'm glad, based at least on your wardrobe, that you could take time out from apple picking to be here.
Actually, this is what I wear when I do a children's show in the morning. It's called Fun with Greg. And I wear my, I don't even know what is sherbet?
Yes.
My name is Captain Ice Cream.
Nice, classy.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate that you asked me to do this after 3.5 years of being on the show. How many people were on the list before me? I'd just like to know.
Hold on a second. Well, there was John DeVore, but he wanted to be on the table. And there was Jason Cantor. He wanted to be on the table. Kaylee.
Yeah.
We had a couple of people working in the floor crew that wanted to do it. There was that homeless guy, Vic.
Paul Prodenza.
Yeah, Paul Prodenza. Yeah.
When you gave me the call, I thought surely Dana Vachon is fighting being served sexual harassment papers by another tennis instructor, or he just couldn't find a clean cummerbund. One of the two. So anyway, here, let's get into it, I suppose.
Yeah.
John,
Yes, sir.
you mentioned when you were talking about the Tea Party, you referenced their disdain for Scrooge McDuck and Daddy Warbucks.
Well, yes. I mean, that's part of the plutocracy.
Yeah.
Scrooge
Well,
McDuck.
interestingly, I don't know if you're aware, but Scrooge McDuck is actually a spin-off character from the Dickensian lesson about the evils of capitalism.
Right, and I think that the Tea Partiers, the Wall Streeters, they love A Christmas Carol. It makes them very sad because at the end of that story, a rich man has to take care of a lazy kid.
That's exactly what I learned from it too. Is that they're lazy.
And he was haunted by ghosts, terrorized.
Kaylee.
Yes.
You said that that if they offered a job, any of these people would just jump at the chance to work for Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
Not true. I found out that Goldman Sachs has a very strict white guy with dreadlocks hiring policy.
You're right. They'd have to get cleaned up first, but I'm sure they'd do it just to work at Goldman Sachs. Wouldn't you? I mean, you'd get cleaned up to work there. Straighten up your tie, take off the earring.
Is the implication that I'm not clean at the moment?
Yes. You are a discerning individual.
All right, then. Well, really, I was under the impression that I showered up and everything before I came here.
We've never met, but I can smell you from here.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay.
She didn't say whether or not it was a bad smell.
It's bad.
Unfamiliar with my previous shows with Dana, obviously. Cantor, you said you needed to have a powdered wig to protest. Apparently, you also need a powdered wig to be convicted of a crime in England or Canada, because they wear the... I don't know. Never mind. Not one of my best. I'm thrown, because I thought I was pleasant smelling.
Do you know what she's done? She has actually heckled you and put you off her game.
I have.
But see, because
You're like
you know what?
smelling your armpit over there, and
Pretty white girl is comedy kryptonite. It's like there's very little I can say to her where every viewer isn't going to turn on me automatically. I can make fun of your silly pink sweater all day, Greg, but the second I lay into Kaylee, I'm a jackass all of a sudden, you know?
It is unfair.
It is totally unfair.
I think it's fun.
I'm too Jewish.
Greg, I thought it was adorable that you got so personally tickled by the fact that Goldman Sachs is a funny name because it has gold and Sachs in it.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this, but there's a company, an offshore banking situation in the Philippines that's called Gold Impotent Sack Houseboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So,
intimately
there's
connected to two of those things.
Did you know, by the way, also you were talking about that many of the protesters down there are actually going to the bathroom at McDonald's?
Really?
Yeah. I heard a guy on the radio yesterday talking about it, and I think that that's kind of interesting because McDonald's is sort of one of the more corporations you can go to, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
So-
And their bathrooms are incredibly clean.
That's
But-
true. Unlike me, apparently.
He's never going to let that go. But they're not paying for anything, so in fact, aren't they sticking it to the man? And stinking it to the man.
Nicely done.
very nice.
Nicely
And
done,
did you
indeed.
see how I did that with my gesture?
Yes.
So you did. Hey, Bill, by the way, you and Greg were both reminiscing about the lovely married couple, the Toddlers.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I hate to inform you, but they've recently separated, citing irreconcilable adorableness.
And also an affair with me.
Also, Bill, you also mentioned that dolphins are the only animals that kill their own kind. That could not possibly be less accurate.
I said us too.
It's true.
Yeah, but every wild cat will murder their own babies when a new male cat comes in. Did you do any research at all on that whatsoever?
No. You misheard me, because what I said was for sport. They do it for pleasure. There's something like male wildcats will do it for. They're not having fun with it.
How are you able to tell the disposition of the dolphin?
Look how happy the dolphin is. That's what a dolphin always does, even when killing.
All right, well, we'll bring in a zoologist on this, but I think you're going to lose that one.
I think that was a very good ombudsing. That was a stellar ombudsing.
Yeah, that was good.
I disagree. I'm filing a complaint.
No, he's right, because you know what? Let me tell you something, Jesse. He's used that point 3 times on the show, and no one's questioned it except for you.
I'm gonna look this point up and tweet it at a date to be named later, because they do.
We can walk outside around to Times Square and see 2 rats eating each other's faces off.
Yes.
It happens all the time.
They're making out. Rats are very loving. They just take bad rap.
I think I have very little time left, but John says that it's a nerds versus jocks thing.
Yes.
I don't think jocks ever label themselves jocks. I think it's always nerds who label jocks jocks.
Right, because we believe in the scientific process. We label things.
God.
Right.
You make me sick.
So I was really getting to the fact that you're lumping yourself in as a nerd.
No, I'm a jock.
No, right. Fair enough.
You know what you are? You're a combination. You're a jerd.
And lastly, I just want to point out that Kaylee mentioned that in 1950 they predicted a new ice age. That can't be entirely accurate, because in 1950 they still believed that you could get polio from eating undercooked vegetables and thought there was no such thing as Chinese people. So.
Great point. Great point. Go work on your smell.
Oh, that's just...
Watch yourself, lady.
Got some perfume.
That is
All right, I'm giving it back to Greg.
All right, nice job there,
Thanks.
Jesse. I am going to the tease now. You mean you don't want to show that video? Oh, we don't have time? Isn't it weird how it seems like I'm talking to nobody? All right. What's the best way to punctuate an intellectual point you've just verbalized? John DeVore discusses his magazine article, Look Over Your Glasses Whilst Tilting Your Head Pretentiously. Up next. There he goes.
There, he's doing it.
What's this? A story about guns and pot? I must have died and gone to guns and pot heaven.